And speaking of stuff that people want to touch, and you talk about the healthcare issue, I have your sister named Sister Maggie Rhodes. Sister Maggie Rhodes, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Yeah, I just said on, and earlier, in an earlier segment, we talked about the fact that her son, Baby Ashton, went for a routine circumcision, and the medical doctors cut off his penis. They actually castrated him. This back in August of this year. And since this time, this sister has been catching hell. She has lost 2 jobs. She got a daughter who has a heart condition, and she lost 2 of her jobs trying to take care of her kids, and she cannot be seen in any children's hospital in Memphis because of what's going on with her son, the situation with her son. So she actually has to drive like 2.5 hours to Greenville, Mississippi, just to get treatment for her son. So I'll let Sister Maggie talk to you.
Now, before you do that, let's back up a minute. See, I got a grandmother that she's pretty slow. We got to connect of how them castrating her son.
Yes, sir.
Makes her lose a job. Now, we doubting it happened, but my grandmother needs a little clearness on that.
Yes, sir.
So if we can explain that.
How they made me lose my job, because that day when I took him in for circumcision, I worked a job shift 11 to 7. That night, I was on a 90-day probation period. And that night, I had to take out work because my son's leg swelled up so big. And I took him to Le Bonheurs. And I also turned in the doctor papers to my employees saying that I was at Le Bonheurs all night long. And they had basically almost every doctor in that hospital, no matter what procedure that they did, they came in and they looked at my son's penis and they stated to me that it was a mess-up.
It was a what? Mistake.
They messed my baby up.
And now, so what needed to be explained, where you was working, you was on a period where you had to be.
Probation.
I didn't hear you. You had a 30-day probation on the job.
3 months, 90-day probation.
On the job. And the fact that you couldn't be there because of what happened, they fired you.
Correct.
Okay, now it's very important anytime you tell this story, you have to explain that. That's very important. You know, I mean, I called it, and I said, well, no, wait a minute. Well, I have no doubt they fired you, but you got to tell my grandmother more than that. No, it makes sense. And now you lost the one job. Now what happened with the other job?
Well, Wednesday night I was at work, and they said they feel like they need people that gonna be there. I never been late for work. I've been working on the job assignment for a month and a couple of weeks, and they said that you are not allowed to take off for any reason. So Ashton come breathe, which was Thursday night, and he was gagging for air. I took him to, I took out work. I told my boss that I was like, I really don't want to get fired because it's Christmas time. You know, I'm trying to keep up with my bills. My kids, I have all small kids, and, you know, they look for Christmas, and I really need this. And he was like, okay, you can go home. And all of a sudden, the next day they called me and told me that I had got terminated because they really need people to be at work.
Sure. Okay. Okay, now that's good. Now let's go back to the story. And I can guarantee you we will get this story out to the whole world, okay? To the whole world.
Okay.
Okay. Now let's go back. For instance, how many children you have?
3 kids.
Okay, are you aware that when you go to the hospital, did you have them all in hospitals?
Did I have what in the hospital?
Were they born in hospitals?
Yes, they was born in the hospital.
Okay, that when after they get through the placenta and all of that, they sell that to places like Horella Rubenstein. Are you aware of that?
No, sir.
They put them in a little pack, look like them ice cream boxes. They weigh them. And they sell that because that's very neutral, and people with money, that's where they get that's what's in their cosmetics. If you ask for that back, they'll have to give it to you or they'll pay you for it. I'm saying these are the things that go on that we don't know about. And the reason I'm asking you this, I shared with our brother here that that when you get circumcised, the foreskin half the size of your thumb in 21 days, that skin grows long enough to fill up 3 basketball courts. Okay? Did you hear what I just said? So most of the folks that get circumcised, they don't know they use it for burn victims all over the world. That's where 90% of the skin come from. And so what we're looking at now is there's something they doing. What happened with his penis after they cut it off?
They didn't say anything. She didn't go into any detail. All she was doing is crying and telling me that she's sorry for the honest mistake that she made on my baby. But I confronted her with a tape recorder, and I said, I don't think it was a mistake made. I feel like it was a cover-up deep down in my heart. And the look that doctor gave me was, you know, if I had a knife or a gun, you'd be dead. You know, that was the look she gave me was so nasty. And I know my spirit is right with God, so my cousin stated to her, you looking at her like that, she needs to be looking at you. You the one did this to her check.
Mm-hmm. Okay, let me just say this here to you. We don't know how many people that happens to, especially in the black community. So before you was on this show earlier today, how many shows had you been on to talk about this?
I just talked about this right after the circumcision happened. The very next day, I turned to Fox 13 News. I'm not from Memphis, so I normally watch Fox 13 News. And they did my interview. They took the story. Mm-hmm. But the story didn't air until after I did an interview with Channel 5 News. Mm-hmm. And that was like in November.
Okay, if it wasn't a conspiracy, and I believe it is, but if it wasn't, they still have to deal with malpractice. There's insurance for that. You hear me?
Yes, sir.
And not to deal with a criminal fact if it gets out there. Okay? I mean,
yes, sir.
So we will start putting people together and see to it that this gets out. And I will call the brother before I have anybody call you. And so what you're going through, we can guarantee you that it's not going to end like this. And then we're going to have some folks.
I feel like, no,
I didn't hear you there. I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
I feel like for Lobuners to have a #1 name around the world, they ignored the fact that my son's penis got cut off. They didn't do any X-rays. They didn't do any urine tests to see was causing the infection. They didn't take any blood to see was any infection in his blood count. They didn't do anything. They just gave, that night, they gave him clothing, 3-month baby, at home. And if I would have gave my baby too much clothing, I probably could have killed him.
Yeah. Now, let me ask you this. Here. When you carried him to the hospital, right?
Yes.
To be circumcised, right?
Yes.
Well, who told you to do that?
Well, I thought it was right because, you know, like in my family, all males get circumcised.
Yeah, no, I know that. No. Hear me good now. What I'm trying to find out is there's some system that is somebody's job is to start aiming people to hospitals or certain places where that happens. You might not have an isolated case. You hear me? So I'm trying to say, you saying because all your family, male men, have had it, it's in the Bible. So did you make that decision on your own? And do you have any other boys?
Yes, I have a 1-year-old.
A 1 year. Have he been circumcised yet?
Yes, sir. He was circumcised in that same clinic.
In the same clinic?
Yes,
now,
sir.
The one that they castrated him, how old was he?
He was 3 months at the time that they circumcised him.
He was what? He was how old?
3 months when they circumcised him.
Okay.
He today is 6 months. He'll be 7 months. Well, he just turned 7 months today. I'm sorry.
Good. And how is he getting along medical-wise and health-wise?
He's still having problems urinating. He developed an infection on his penis area where no penis there. And all I can do is be a mom and just take my baby to the doctor. Like I said, I'm not no doctor. All I can do is present my son in.
And is the hospital is the hospital paying for that?
Well, right now I'm still on taking care as we speak, but that's all I can say.
Well, let me ask you this: do you have a lawyer?
Yes, sir, I do.
And what is the lawyer saying?
Then we gonna do some research in the morning and try to find Ashton a proper doctor that'll see him. Okay. So look, between what you're doing and between what me and the brother's doing, Brother Hurd, this is not going to die down. Okay? Yes, sir.
You hear me? And not at all. And you just stay in your prayer and in your belief that the world will find out about this. Okay? Just don't give up no hope. Okay? And don't let this tragedy bring you down to where you get sick, okay? You hear me? Now, Brother Hurd, is there anything else, any other questions that need to be asked while she's on the air?
Oh, well, no, basically, I just need to tell you that, the surgery took place in August, and Fox 13 News went out there in August, but they waited until the other news station put a story on the air, which was this past
how did Fox 13 News know about it?
I heard about 13 that the next day.
Hold it. Slow up. And go back and answer the question, please. How did the news people know about it? Who told them?
I did. The next day after the circumcision took place, they took pictures of my son and everything, and they waited and wasn't on lawsuit even thought about at the present time. And after Channel 5 posted their story, that's when Fox 13 stepped in and posted this.
Yeah, now let me ask you this here. When this happened, with all you was going through, how did you know to call Channel 13?
I watched Channel 13, and I felt like this needs to be popularized. That clinic needs to be on blast, because before it happens to somebody else, child, this don't need to be ignored.
Okay. What were you going to say now?
No, I was saying like this. It took them a while to get the story out. The initial news people that she contacted, they waited till the other news organization did a story on it to release that story. I just thought that was interesting. Just several months to pass before they actually did anything. But like you said, the truth would come out, Mr. Gregory. I definitely believe that. Because people are very angry and frustrated about this story, along with some other things going on in the country right now, in the world in general. So I guess.
Out of all the tragedies you see, especially that's happening with the hurricane and the all of the stuff that's going on in the Philippines.
Yes, sir.
You ain't heard about nobody's penis being missing.
Oh, no, sir.
Okay, and so this is really shocking. It happens all the time, but people don't hear about it. So if you don't hear about it, it's almost like it don't happen. So, and the lawyer, have you talked to the lawyer on the show?
Yeah, he was on here in the last segment. We just couldn't get a hold of him. I told him that I was trying to get her in touch with you, and he was open to it. Because he said we're trying to get as much publicity as possible about this case so it won't die down, like you say.
Yeah.
So people have to be more aware.
Okay. I'll start talking to some people tomorrow, and then we'll call you, and then we'll formulate some way. Joe Madison has one of the largest shows in America.
Yes.
and Mark Thompson, Cable, one of the largest shows in America. His brother in New York has one of the largest shows in America, and it's a guy here out of Baltimore. So we'll start putting that together for you. And after we finish the show tonight, I'll call you back, and sister, we'll call you back, and I'll just go over some things with you.
Okay, that's fine.
Okay, right. And thank you so much. Did you have anything else you want to say?
No.
Okay.
Thank you for interviewing me, taking that time.
Thank you. Thank you much.
No problem.